Company. Happy Wednesday. Y'all, we normally would do What You Cooking Wednesday, but this week I'm not cooking tonight. For one, I can't find anything. I need to go to the store, and I'm not supposed to do that until Friday. And also, I want to get takeout. So we're getting takeout tonight. And instead of doing a little cooking, I thought we'd do some crafting. So we are going to use a Dollar Tree paper mache box and make a really pretty patriotic box. And we're going to be using this little eagle that I got at the thrift store for this project. Okay, and this is going to actually go right here on the middle of the box on the top. So we're going very traditional today with our colors. So we're doing stars and stripes, okay, for our patriotic box here. And it's definitely going to be sort of a vintage looking box with our eagle on it. And I think it's going to be really cute. So when you hop on, say hello. Let me know you're watching. Hope y'all are having a wonderful Wednesday. It's a beautiful day here in Kentucky. 69 degrees and sunny. So it's been a really great day. Griffin's got a friend over today because it is spring break. And I've been working all day, but I've gotten a lot done today. So, hi, Jamie. Hey, Deborah. Hello, Carol. Hi, Dorothy. Hi, Lynn. Hey, Teresa. I'm good. How are you? Hi, Dale. Hey, Heidi and Lori and Alexandria. Thanks for sprinkling. Danae says she's having leftovers. Leftovers was on the docket for tonight. We were definitely talking about leftovers, but my favorite Chinese restaurant is going out of business. They close in about 2 weeks. And, you know, I'm kind of like, I don't need it, but also this is my last chance. So I only have, 2 more weeks. So we're talking 1 or 2 more times I'm going to have my favorite food ever again. And so I'm like, let's do it. Hey, Pam. Yay, Dana. I'm so glad. Hi, Michelle. Hey, Wanda and Lynn. Hey, Deborah. Hi, Belinda. Chicken nuggets and fries and macaroni salad. Sounds good. Hi, Dana. Yes, absolutely, Dana. Hey, Nancy. Hey, Carol. Good to see everybody. Thanks for joining me today. Okay, so let's get into it. So first of all, I have to clean this because it has collected some dust sitting here. Mostly it's paper dust from the paper shred that we use for our DIY decor boxes. Whenever we used the pink shred, after the end of the day, when we would blow our nose, it would have pink dust in it. So that dust, it just goes everywhere. Okay, so this is a Dollar Tree box. These are fabulous, y'all. Anytime you buy a plain craft paper mache box, they're kind of a little expensive. Where these are from the Dollar Tree and they're $1.25, and you just can't really beat that. And this one's, let's see here, it is 5 inches. 5 inches in diameter. So someone asked, what's your favorite Chinese food? My favorite is from Walk and Go. And so that's where we're going to get takeout tonight because we love Walk and Go. And I get lots of different things from there. My favorite are their egg rolls. They have the best egg rolls you've ever had in your entire life. They outweigh every single restaurant I've ever had an egg roll at. Walk and Go beats it by a mile. And then they have a meal there called pan fried chicken, which is what I typically get. It's my favorite. But they have really great rice noodles that we get a combination rice noodle with curry, and there's a lot of good options there. Andrew likes to get General So and sweet and sour. He pretty much sticks to the basics. Jamie says, made chicken enchiladas with sour cream sauce. Yay, Jamie. Good afternoon, Jackie. Okay. Yay, Jamie. I'm so glad she got her DIY decor box. All right. So here's what we're going to do. First of all, if you have some spray paint these babies. It makes it a lot easier. Trying to paint these with a brush and cover up all of this stuff, my babe, is nearly impossible. And so what I typically do, I didn't have any spray paint, is I just take some paper. And we're going to put some paper down, some white paper down first before we do our napkins, okay? That way we cover this up. It's a lot quicker doing it that way than trying to paint 500,000 coats of paint in order to cover all of this up. It would take at least 4, if not 5 coats. So we're not going to do all that today. We're gonna try and make our life a little easier. So this is a little trick that I do sometimes. Is use some paper and just do a layer of paper underneath the napkin. Okay, so that's the plan here. So we're just going to start getting our glue on. And then we'll apply our paper, and I'm just going to use a knife to, you know what, Andrew's leaving. I did not tell him what I wanted. He didn't ask either, but I think he's stopping. So I should probably tell him what I want. All right, so I'm going to wrap this around. I like lo mein noodles too. Yay, Kim. All right, so let's just get this adhered. Let me send Andrew a text really quick. Tell him what I want if he's going to stop on his way home. I'm going to do today the rice noodles. And I'm going to order extra egg rolls because I'm going to freeze some of them. Okay. All right. I'm going to get out the heat tool here. Make sure this is well adhered because some spots are not. Some spots are just not sticking very well. That makes me mad. Alrighty. Let's try. It seems like this happened the last time. Let's just do a little at a time then. Oh, good, Michelle. It is indeed. It's a special year, isn't it? Let's see if we can get this glued down. My goodness. I'm going to take my heat tool, see if I can't get some of these bubbles out. Just not wanting to decoupage very well to this. maybe this is a bad idea. Danae got her DIY decor box last night. Do you love it? Okay. There's a little bit here that is not sticking. Let me. My goodness. What is the deal here? I think I'm going to try and do a layer of decoupage glue first, dry it, and then put another layer. Let's see if that is any better. I'm going to take my knife and cut the excess off of the bottom like this. Let me get a new blade. I feel like I'm trying to make this easy and it's not proving to be real easy for some reason. I don't know if it's waxy or what it is. It is like it's got some kind of coating on it or something. Let's go this way. Maybe this way is better. There we go. Okay. The inside I'm going to fold over, I think. So let me do some glue. Let's see if we can make this work. And then we'll just fold this inside. Maybe a glue stick. That's a good thought. Okay. All right, we got the inside. It's like you just really have to give it some pressure to get it to adhere, but it is very bubbly on the outside, which doesn't usually happen with this paper. I use this paper all the time, y'all, and it doesn't usually do this. It's like it's the box. Okay, so let's try. I'm going to take some decoupage glue and do a layer directly on the box and let it dry to act as kind of like a prime coat. I'm going to go ahead and do it here on the inside as well. Okay, and we're going to dry this. Okay, so then let's try this again. Another layer of glue. Okay, let's see if that helps at all. All right, I'm gonna trim this. I feel like that's helped a bit, but maybe I'm dreaming, I don't know. Happy Wednesday, Pam. All right, let's take this sharp blade and we'll trim off of the bottom. Okay. And then let's fold this. So we'll go in with some more glue. Okay. That'll work. Still was easier than trying to paint it 1,000 times, don't y'all think? Okay. All right, so we've got it covered in our white paper. We can no longer see the background. So now we can do our napkin. Our napkin should go on a lot easier. We're going to use this napkin here, which is this kind of ticking pattern. And this is available on our website. It is part of our patriotic napkin bundle. Almost got it. Okay. Careful. Hey, Laura, good to see you. Okay. Once you get it separated from those fringes, it's a little easier. All right, and we're going to do up and down stripes. I'm going to trim the fringe off. And I'm going to cut a strip, a couple of strips out of this. And it doesn't have to be perfect, of course. You do get 2 napkins in the bundle, so you've got plenty to do this project with. All right, y'all. Let's try this. See how this goes. Bubbling up, of course. All right, let's get our napkin on here. I just want to try and get it fairly straight so that the stripes are going straight up and down. Okay. Here we go. Y'all, this is already looking really good. Just getting that napkin on there. I just love the texture that napkins and mulberry paper gives to something like this. All right, so let's do the other one. And let's see here. I think what I'm going to do is cut off one of these stripes so that I can match it. And so that way we can just line this right up and it'll look like one continuous project or stripe. You know what I mean? Pattern. Thank you, Christy. Hello, Seaside Craft Studio. All right. Get our decoupage glue all over this. I'm not sure if this is going to be long enough or not. It should be long enough. All right, so let's line this up. There we go. I'm just trying to smooth it out as I go. Holding the napkin tight. Okay. All right, so this matches up pretty well. I am gonna have to have two stripes right next to each other, I think. So there is gonna be a bit of a seam, but that's all right. Okay, I'm gonna take my heat tool now to this. Okay, we're gonna use our decoupage glue and we'll just fold the top over just like we did with the paper. And that just makes it look finished. So we don't have this raw edge. Oh, and look, the inside is red, so it works really well. And I'm not gonna do the bottom, y'all. We're not gonna do the bottom. What I will do though, because I think it's just gonna look the best, is just fold this over on the bottom so that it looks nice and clean from the front. Does that make sense? Rather than cutting it or sanding it off, if it's just folded over like this, I think it's gonna look the best when you're looking at it this way. Okay, there we go. So there's our base done. And we're gonna set this aside, and now we gotta work on our lid. Oh geez. The lid's more difficult. So here we go. Let's do the top first. I don't know, y'all. I'm really wondering how this is gonna look. You definitely can, Dana. I'm just wondering how this is gonna look. I'm worried about the paper. And then I am wondering if I couldn't just let's see here. I'm going to cut the fringe off. Missy, yes, you should be able to. You can always go into your account and purchase the ones that you didn't get. They're all available. for all of our Celebrate and Create Paper Club subscribers. All the existing ones are available, so you can go in and purchase those at any time. All right. Okay, there we go. I'm going to see if it shows through this blue, and if not, I'm thinking of using the napkins instead of the paper. If I can get the napkins separated, it is very well attached. So since it's so attached, I'm wondering, okay, I'm going to try something first. We're going to give something a try. I'm going to take my decoupage glue. We're starting with the top here. Get it covered, and I'm going to use this piece that I pulled off. And I'm going to apply it to the top, which I think is just going to glue on a little bit better than the paper. I'm going to dry it. We're just going to create some layers to hide. And then let's do the edges. I'm going to try and see how this does. I just fold these edges over. I know there's going to be some wrinkles. I'm just wondering how bad. I think more than what I want, more than what I'm going to be happy with. So I think what we'll do, I'm going to go on and finish this. Okay. All right, and I'm just going to trim around. Yeah, I could definitely use ribbon. I don't want to use ribbon, but we'll see. I think I have a thought, so we'll see if it works. All right, I'm just going to go on, fold all this over. We got one layer on, which is going to help with the coverage, which was the main goal with this. Thank you, Harley. I'm so glad you're here. These napkins that I'm using are part of our patriotic napkin bundle that we have available on our website. So it comes with 30 different napkin styles, I believe. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take, I think that I have another one of these. Let me double check. All of the napkins come with 2, except for the ones that have like different color variations. Okay, so this is going to work. So let's go on and glue this on. So we're gluing the stars right on top. And I didn't separate these completely because they were sticking together really well, the layers, and I felt like maybe it wasn't necessary. Well, thank you, Jolly Bean. Okay. Then let's see here if I can cut this off using my sharp knife. Pretty well in some spots. I could definitely sand it, but sometimes what it does is it tears the box up and exposes the color underneath, which was what I was trying to avoid here. Okay. All right, so we've got the top of the lid done. So now I'm going to take, let's see, actually I might have enough here. And we're just going to cut some strips and we're going to go along the edge like we did our box. Okay. So here we go. Let's give this a go. Just adding the glue right over top of that napkin that we put down first. And then I'm going to have a little on the top and a little on the bottom. Oh, thank you, Teresa. I'm glad you like them. Okay, there we go. That's looking good. It's looking good, y'all. Look at that. Okay, so let's fold the bottom over to the inside. There we go. All right. Let's do the rest of this. I don't think that I'm going to have, I think I'm going to have to use a little bit more. I don't think this last strip's going to be enough. Okay, there we go. All right, so we got a little bit, tiny little bit that we got to do. The wrinkles do not show from the first layer, so that's good. Okay, so we need just a little bit more. All righty. Let's fold this in. Now let me actually put the link up for the napkins so y'all can grab it if you want. Okay, there we go. All right, so there's the link for the napkins. If you're watching on your phone, you can just take a screenshot, and then when you go into your photos, you just hold down on the QR code and it'll bring up the link. Okay, I'm gonna dry this really quick before I trim the top. And then I need to clean my fingers because I'm getting fingerprints everywhere. But I think that works. That works pretty well. I covered the happy birthday part because I am turning this into a patriotic box. Okay. All right, let me get the glue off of my fingers here. They're covered. Covered in glue. But we're almost there. I think this is going to be really cute. All right. Okay. So let me see here how I want to do this. If I want to cut or if I want to sand. See if I can do it like this. I'm just trying to be as gentle with it as I can, as not to expose what's underneath too much. So I think this is probably the best way. I'm just holding the napkin and then I'm just taking my sharp knife and just going in like a sawing motion. To remove the excess. And I'm just running my knife just right horizontal along the top edge here. Okay. There we go. Look at that. We got it. So I'm going to take my decoupage glue and run this along this top edge to just sort of seal that up. I don't want to run this along the entire thing because I want to distress this, and if I do that, then the distress ink just doesn't it doesn't apply as well. So we just added some along the top just to kind of seal that in, and now look at that. So our box, I'm a little afraid to put it together, but because I'm worried that it will stick. But this is essentially what we're looking at. How cute is that? It's going to be adorable. Okay. It will be probably a little tight because of the all the layers of the napkin and paper and all of that. Okay, so let's add our eagle. Let me just take a moment for this. I mean, are you kidding me right now? Okay, here's what I'm going to do. We're going to find the middle so that we can get it right. So I'm going to take and trace my lid onto a piece of paper. And then we're going to cut this out. This is all so that we can find the middle. This is the way that I think is easiest when you're dealing with a circle. Okay. So once you have your circle cut out, we're going to fold it in half. Okay. And then you're going to fold it in half again. Holly, I picked up the eagle at a thrift store. All right. And there's your middle. This point right there is your middle. So you can take your lid, lay your little piece right up against the edge, and make a mark right at the tip, which is where the middle is. Okay. Y'all probably can't see that, but okay, I'm going to drill a hole. Probably wouldn't need to drill a hole. I think it's going to be the easiest way. So let's drill a hole. Let me find my drill bits. All right, and let's drill the hole. Okay. Easy peasy. All right, now I have got a screw here that I just grabbed out of my husband's stuff, and I cut off the end with a bolt cutter. It fits inside this hole. It doesn't like screw in perfectly, but it fits inside there, and so it's going to add some stability to our eagle. So we'll grab some glue, some super glue. And I'm going to put super glue right on the bottom here, as well as on the inside. Okay, and I'm going to set my eagle right on top. And then, Teresa, he's not here yet. He's still not here. Oh gosh, I'm already like panicked here. Hang on a second. I'm going to end up with glue all over me. So let's prepare. Okay. Let's prepare. All right. Maybe I should put on another glove. I'm going to put glue on this. Hopefully this works, y'all. Okay, let's see if we can't get this screw through the hole. OMG. Okay, hang on. Bear with me. Okay. Hopefully that will be good. Look how cute that is. Isn't that adorable? All right, so let's distress this, make this look old. Oh my gosh, that is just so good. Okay, so let's grab, I'm going to use my vintage photo, but I also want to use some paint, I think. We might just use a little bit of a couple of different things to really make this look old. So let's start with the vintage photo around the edges. Okay, just to give that some distressing around the edges. Let me take it apart so that I can distress all of it. I agree, Dorothy, it really is. I told y'all it was going to be tight. But also, I don't want it to stay stuck together. All right, so we're going to do the edges as well. We just want this to have a vintage look about it. So that's why we're doing this. I don't want this to look new. I want this to look vintage. Okay. That's looking good. Let's do the same thing to the bottom. So I'm starting on the bottom, just going around the bottom edge. Starting on that very edge and just kind of bringing it up a little bit. Okay. Like that. Super cute. I'm going to do the top also. Okay. There's a couple of spots where the napkin's kind of tearing a little bit. So I'm just going to take and go over those spots just and embrace them. Okay, so this is looking so good. We can stop right here, but I feel like I want to add just a little bit more of something. So I'm going to use my milk chocolate, I believe. And a pouncer. And we're just going to remove some of the paint. A lot of the paint. And we're just going to add a little bit in some spots. And this is just going to make it really look even more vintage, giving it that kind of almost rusty like look. And so I'm just here and there just adding, and I'm not using much paint at all. I'm going to do the base as well in different spots. Some spots may be heavier than others. Even around the bottom, it might be pretty thick because the bottom is where, you know, it's going to get naturally worn and rusted. Somebody just let themselves in my house. All right. So you can see the little bit, see like right in there. Right in there. Just adding that bit of aging. And then I'm going to add one more layer. I'm going to do the burnt umber. I know, wouldn't that be great, Danita? Bye. So now I'm going to take burnt umber or raw umber. And just a little bit of a darker color. And I'm just going to add a little bit of it in spots. Sometimes I even do it in combination with the other, the milk chocolate. Just really want to make this look old and vintage. Dirty and worn. And you know, I need to do my eagle too. I didn't do the eagle. But I should probably add a little something something to him as well. Let's see here. I'm just going to tap him with this pouncer. Okay, y'all, I am happy with this. I am really loving it. Okay, I'm gonna put this together. Let me actually give this a little dry real quick. This turned out super cute. Get the lid on if I can. Look how cute that is. Oh my word. Isn't that adorable? I just love it. So we used the napkins that are in that bundle that's right here pinned, that bundle right there. You can grab that QR code, and those napkins, these napkins that I used are in that bundle. There's 30 different napkins in there, and there's 2 of each napkin. So you're getting like 60 napkins. Will the napkin tear as you open and close it? Does it need something to prevent that, like a sealer? Honestly, I think the sealer will cause more problems than not. The reason why is because it's just going to make it that much tighter. This is something that for me will just be a decorative item anyway, so it probably wouldn't even be opened again. But once this dries completely, it should be fine. You shouldn't have an issue getting it open and closed. It's just really tight because of the paper and the napkins and all of that. And so if you do another layer of sealer, you're just making it that much tighter. You see what I'm saying? Alexandria, I got the eagle from a thrift store, but I'm sure you could Google American Eagle, like finial or something like that, and probably find something similar. But this was a little vintage one that I found that was new and packaged, so it doesn't look vintage. But it does now that we added a little bit of paint to it. And this is just, I am in love with this. So there we have it. 1776 would be so cute on this. I just don't know what I would do that with. Unless I was to like print out on the computer and then cut them out and then glue them on And I just don't know if the sticker is going to look good because of the, because they're going to be like a different sheen. I feel like it's going to throw it off, but I don't know. We'll see. So thank you all so much for joining me. I hope y'all enjoyed this one. Dollar Tree container, little paper mache, gift box, and napkins. Have a wonderful day. I love you guys, and I'll see y'all tomorrow for Thrifty Thursday. Bye.